gathering around a campfire, the looming trees throwing shadows over the listeners, but covering the stories against the unknown. The tale of ghosts, quests, and yarns of folk tales were told with a rumbling timber or a spiralling scream, the listeners utterly transfixed. Now, left are the days where the main places of storytelling are around the fire, in the pub, or around the dinner table, and are left for the headphones, or in a bed late at night with the lamp on, flicking through the silence, leaving just one mind to get transfixed upon the story. But which stories make your ears flick through the pages, succumb to the space-dwelling, mind-bending, and vast expanding stories of science fiction? I have a few for those just starting on their spacefaring ventures. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Reese's Writing YouTube channel. Today I've got a big pile of books to recommend to everyone to go check out. I'll just pick it up from here. Ooh, massive. It's huge. Oh wait, no. There are no books. It's an invisible book pile because it's audiobooks. So yeah, this is a list of some science fiction books that I would recommend to people who want to sort of begin their journey into science fiction audiobooks. I wouldn't say they're like properly for sort of young adults or like kids. There are some YA books in here, but they're not all YA, as you probably know from my previous videos that I'm not holding back. Yeah, these are for sort of people who want to dabble in audiobooks, science fiction, which ones that I liked. The first honourable mention that I shall give is Dune. Dune. I just came up with it in my random head that whenever I mention Dune, probably only once in a video, maybe twice if I feel like it, I'll have the Dune alarm. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this if you properly want to begin science fiction. If this is your like first book and you don't know anything about Dune, I'm sure a lot of people have read watched the films. So if you really like those, I'd recommend checking out the books as well. The audiobook does a great job. So like stellar cast and some good sound effects and music to go along with it. So I'd recommend the audiobook, but I wouldn't put this as one that I would recommend for proper beginners that are just dabbling their toes into science fiction audiobooks. Yes, another honourable mention is the Murderbot Diaries. I didn't like it that much. I read the first 3. I don't know how many there are. They're quick, so they're easy to get through, but I didn't like it. I don't know, it felt wrong. It felt like I was listening to something wrong, like I shouldn't be listening to this. It kind of felt like fan fiction. And I don't know why. It may have been the voice actor. Probably, maybe a bit of everything. It felt like I shouldn't be listening to this. And it wasn't that great. The story wasn't amazing. So, I don't know. Lots of people love it though. So, I would, if you want to give it a try, give it a try. I think they're free on, some of them are free on Audible. And some of them, they have dramatized versions that I haven't looked at. So, if you want to give those a try, maybe they're a lot better than the audiobook. But the like normal unabridged version of Murderbot Diaries, I just couldn't get on with. The Humans by Matt Haig, I just couldn't really put this. I don't know why this just wasn't on the list. I couldn't fit it anywhere. The Humans is a great book. Matt Haig, I haven't read or listened to any of his other books like The Midnight Library or I forgot any others. But The Humans is great. It's a good comedy, like about an alien that comes to Earth and discovers what humans are all about. It's good fun. Yeah, if you, I would listen to The Humans. So that those are my 3 honourable mentions. So number 5 is Pierce Brown's Red Rising trilogy. I would hesitate to say to listen, or I don't know, if you're like me and struggle to keep a hold of storylines, characters, POVs, quite a few things in audiobooks, then I would step away, maybe try and find the final, the 2 after the first 3 on, like, in paperback or written. So Red Rising is about humans that have gone to different planets, and they have created this sort of color graded class system, and they all have certain jobs and roles to play in the universe that the humans have created. And I really liked it. It's a great world. There's a new one coming out sometime next year, and the first 3 in audiobook are really good. They only follow Darrow, who's the main character, as he goes through all these sort of trials and tribulations in sort of a Hunger Games, especially in the first one. It's like a Hunger Games type story. I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I would put a caveat into the first one and maybe the second one. I don't remember this being a problem in the third one, but the narrator's voice can be really quiet at some points. There's points where I'm like, I'm not hearing what he's saying. He just goes rumbling through, which is something I do, but I'm not a narrator. Well, I am, but you can see the books in the little corner there. Cheap plug. The first 3 are really good on audiobook. They only sort of follow Darrow's mission, and as he goes through his trials and tribulations in this sort of Hunger Gamesy type scenario, it definitely gets solved the further it gets on. I know it's a problem in the first one, not quite sure about the second one, which I forgot the name, but the first 3 really good on audiobook. The third one, Morning Star, is, in my opinion, my favourite one out of the... Is it 6? Yeah, it's been 6, and the 7th is... So it's is my favourite of the 6 that have been released so far. I've heard that people preferred Iron Age and Dark Iron Gold and Lightbringer. I really liked The Morning Star. I think that was a great sort of conclusion to the first 3 trilogy. It showed Darrow sort of getting older and more mature and things like that. So yes, Red Rising I would highly check out. Yeah, number 4 is The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull. This is about an alien planet, an alien ship that has dropped the US Virgin Islands, and it's been there for 5 years, and it's about how humans sort of go around their business and the political problems and the human problems with sort of an alien race, how this alien race want to treat humans, what they want to do with them, It's like it's done by a black author, so it's a little bit of a different look at sort of science fiction. And I think it's a great start for anyone who wants to listen to any books and stories from a different sort of country or different culture. I think it's a great start for anyone who wants to dip their toes into that sort of thing. I get a lot of vibes about like District 9. I don't know if this came out maybe before, but the film District 9, where there's a sort of alien race. I think an alien race sort of comes down and is about them dealing with them in sort of South Africa, and it's kind of an analogy of sort of slaves and third world countries and how they're sort of treated. This is also like that. I really enjoyed it. The narration's really good. I recently listened to The Black Heart Man by Naola Hopkins. That was also a good listen, and the narrator is the same. I think there's maybe one or two narrators in the lesson, so that's always good to have a woman speaking a woman's role and a man speaking a man's role and things like that. So I think this is a really good book to begin your journey into sort of Black history and sort of the Virgin Islands, and discovering sort of how they've been treated and understanding also how humans would deal with just random aliens popping up and taking part of their islands, and and it's funny. There was part where I burst out laughing randomly. So good book. I would recommend it. And then what do we have? Oh yes, and then we have probably like one of my sort of quiet favorites is the Themis Files by Sylvain Neuvel. I really enjoyed the trilogy. The last book kind of ruined it. It wasn't that great. There was also a new person that joined the audio, and that kind of ruined it quite a bit. So the third one isn't as good, but the first two really enjoyable, really good to listen to. Sylvain Neuvel has got some other great books. The Themis Files is about a secret, or like underground. There is a machine or a massive obelisk type, colossal type robot looking thing that humans discover. They only discover sort of the head and then the arms, and they're wondering how the hell this happened, who the hell made it. And it's really good. It's sort of done in interview styles, so like you'll have sort of certain audio files come through that sort of piece together this story, and some interviews with the characters. Quite a lot of different voice actors, which is really good. And this really plays well to the audio versions. And Sylvain Neuvel has also some other good books that are sort of audio form. The Test I really enjoyed, which is about someone taking their British citizenship test, and there's a kind of a twist halfway through, which makes it a lot more interesting. I would recommend that as well. And there was also one called No Kindness Too Soon, I think, which is not as good as the others, but I really enjoyed that one as well. It's a quick listen. I recommend Sylvain Neuvel, those sort of books. to listen to. The Themis Files are really good, about sort of this secret mission that's going on, and I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, I'd recommend the Themis Files to listen to. And then number 2, I wanted to get a classic in there. Margaret Atwood wouldn't even sort of consider this maybe science fiction. But yeah, I would recommend The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood to listen to on audiobook if you wanted to. I'm sure this is amazing in page form as well. In page form. And those old fangled pages. This is a dystopian alternate history of America, and what if it would be heavily censored, sort of Mormon-esque, like censorship and sort of problems that would play about that, and how people would go about trying to get over those censorships. Yeah, it's a really good book. I would say classic. I haven't listened to many classics on audiobook. I kind of want to listen to them in page form, but yeah, I recommend this. If you wanted to try a classic, to use it, to give this one a try, if you haven't already. And I don't know what else there's much to say about The Handmaid's Tale, but yeah, go listen to it if you haven't. And then number 1, numero uno, I had to get Blake Crouch in here, and I couldn't really. I liked Dark Matter. I really enjoyed listening to it, but instead I went for the Pines trilogy. I found this so much more enjoyable to listen to. Dark Matter, I would love to read. It's probably a massive page turner, really good thriller. But yeah, I went for the Pines trilogy just because I really enjoyed the trilogy that he made. This is about a man who wakes up without any memory of what's going on, and then he's in Wayward Pines, and he's slowly discovering what happened to him, and this sort of weird town that's going on. If you haven't watched it, listen to it, because there's a TV show, but I haven't watched the TV show. I would highly recommend listening to Pines trilogy. To listen to Blake Crouch, his audiobooks are really enjoyable. So I think that's it for the recommend, the 5, but this is kind of an 8. An 8 recommend with the honourable mentions. If you have any other recommendations, I listen to books, but I haven't listened to as many books. I sort of dabble in different genres as well. If you have any recommendations for science fiction books to be listened to, put them in the comment section, and I'll reply. I'll probably put them on my TBR, and have a massive long ass TBR that just keeps growing and growing. Yeah, if you have any recommendations, put them in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, do all that shenanigans. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.